Congress's Akhilesh Pratap Singh is joining us on the phone line right now. Mr. Singh, apart from the insensitive comments of the Principal Secretary and of course Mulayam Singh Yadav, what do you make of the report that has been submitted by the committee that was set up by Uttar Pradesh Government? There seems to be zero accountability. Nobody is taking the responsibility for these 34 deaths.
नहीं, अजीब सी बात है कि अजीब अजीब बयान दिए जा रहे हैं मुजफ्फरनगर के पीड़ितों के ऊपर और दंगों के ऊपर। पहले ये सरकार के चीफ सेक्रेटरी 20 तारीख को एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं, पूरा डिटेल बताते हैं कि किस तरह से वहाँ पे दंगा हुआ, कितने लोग मारे गए, कितना दुखद था और कैंपों में किस तरह से लोग रह रहे हैं। गवर्नमेंट ने खुद एक्सेप्ट किया है लगभग 5000 लोग कैंपों में रह रहे हैं, हालांकि रह ज्यादा रहे और मौतों को भी एक्सेप्ट किया है। हाई कोर्ट में भी वो, सुप्रीम कोर्ट को भी वो इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं और ये भी एक्सेप्ट किया है। और वहीं दूसरी तरफ उसी चीफ सेक्रेटरी के अंदर के होम सेक्रेटरी, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी होम किस तरह से बयान दे रहे हैं, माननीय मुलायम सिंह जी कैसे बयान दे रहे हैं। दो कमेटियां बनी, शिवपाल जी के यादव के एक 6 मिनिस्टरों की कमेटी बनी, एक और मिनिस्टरों की कमेटी बनी, एक जस्टिस वर्मा आयोग बना। सब लोग बता रहे हैं कि किस तरह से वहाँ पे मिस हैंडलिंग हो रही है। कोहरे में, ठंड में लोग मर रहे हैं, बच्चे मर रहे हैं, कोई वहाँ पे ना अलाव की व्यवस्था है, ना कोई वहाँ पे लोगों को गर्म कपड़े या ठंड से बचाव की प्रशासन व्यवस्था कर पा रहा है। और उस पे आर्गुमेंट ऐसे दिए जा रहे हैं फेस सेविंग के लिए। हम आज के समाज में कैसे ऐसी सरकार के सराहना कर सकते हैं और कैसे ऐसे अधिकारियों के बल पे ये सरकार चल रही है। बहुत दुखद है, बहुत ही दुखद है।
But will you go beyond condemning it? That is a big question. Just stay on for a moment more. We have Siddharth Singh of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Siddharth Singh, your first reactions, not just the comments that were made by the Principal Secretary, but I also want to focus on the report that lays zero accountability on the government. It says nothing about government's mishandling of the entire situation, which is why perhaps we are not seeing any change on ground as far as the condition of these internally displaced people is concerned.
Well, this incident has exposed the governance issue, administrative issue of the Samajwadi Party government in UP. Also, it exposes the secular credentials which they carry on their shoulders. It also exposes that how insensitive is the Samajwadi Party, Mulayam Singh and the rest of the administration. But at the same time, I'm surprised that only condemnation is coming from the central government, that is the Congress. They had a full report from the governor. They refused to act against the Samajwadi Party. They joined the secular, so-called secular credentials to criticize that it is the BJP who are involved in this communal, and they went ahead even accusing our Prabhari or the in charge of the Uttar Pradesh, that is Amit Shah. I think it's time that these so-called secular credentials which these parties carry, they come to a delivery mechanism when something like this happens, and they also, the Chief Minister, should also surrender himself to the legal process the way we have seen our Narendra Modi ji doing in Gujarat. But it's a sad day. The comments coming from the government, the comments coming from Mulayam Singh and the officials. So it's a sad day that how insensitive you are and you want to play politics on the dead bodies.
Right, Mr. Siddharth Singh, it's interesting that you drew that comparison with Narendra Modi, who of course got a big relief from courts yesterday. But how as an opposition party do you plan to pile on pressure on Akhilesh Yadav government and Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh? The situation, it seems to be very dire for the survivors there, for the people who are displaced and are battling cold and very, very difficult conditions.
I agree with your viewpoint. We are doing in a different way by providing through our workers and state leaders, sending, various clothings and all. But at the end of the day, the shelter needs to be prepared in the camps by the state government. It cannot be prepared by any other party unit. They don't even allow our leaders to visit the camps. There is a huge restrictions on us. When our party president, the national president, wanted to visit, our leaders like Ravi Shankar Prasad and others wanted to visit, they didn't even allow us to interact with them. But the issue is we have to, give them relief. But that job needs to be done by the government of the day, not by the opposition or any other political party. But yes, we are, as a political party, sensitive towards it. And whichever way we can, through sending blankets, sending warm clothes, all these things we'll continue doing. But it's a sad, it is the government of the day which needs to take action, and therefore we are raising this issue publicly also.
Well, we just hope the opposition parties keep the pressure on Mulayam Singh Yadav and, of course, the Samajwadi Party government there in Uttar Pradesh, which seems to have washed its hands clean as far as taking responsibility for those people in the relief camps is concerned.